So one major change I'm seeing here at the channel since the start of Year 6 Season 3 is the fact that I'm getting messages from a lot of players out there pretty much every day saying how much you are enjoying the new global modifier Rogue Momentum, and you've asked me to put together different builds based around it. Now for the record, and most of you know this, having these modifiers active are completely and totally optional, and while you do become more powerful when they are turned on, so do the NPCs, so keep in mind it's all relative. Now we are going to jump into the build breakdown, and one thing I'd like to mention as we start off is that every single build I highlight here at the channel with these modifiers on are completely and totally viable with them turned off. It's totally up to you, my friends, but one thing I can say is that when you turn them on, it's a ton of fun to use. Just putting that out there. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the breakdown, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, starting with the specialization, we are using Technician, and the main reason for that is because that will give us access to the linked laser pointer, which we can then equip to any long-barreled weapon of our choosing, and when that's on a weapon, it's going to automatically pulse every single enemy we target, which comes into play with not only the talent we have on our weapon and our gear set, but also one of the modifiers. Now, always remember when it comes to these, you have so many different ways you can run with a build like this. The most important thing, take your time, make a build your own, all that good stuff. Now, as you can see, we do have the global modifier Rogue Momentum active, and as I said a moment ago, while having these unlocked are completely and totally optional, I really recommend making your way through the journey missions all the way to 7, because when you have all of these unlocked, you can put some insane builds together. Now, as you can see on screen, my active modifier is Tactical Supremacy, and my passive modifiers are Fortified Shield, Reactive Reinforcement, and Microwave Coils, which happens to be, in my opinion, easily one of the best ones. Now, with that modifier equipped, up to 4 enemies affected by Pulse now receive the Burn status effect. You can also gain 5% bonus momentum for every affected hostile. Now remember, because we have that linked laser pointer equipped, it means just by aiming at an NPC, chances are they're going to go up in flames, which is obviously great for crowd control, and when you combine that with using your pulse, it's really badass. I mean, you'll see some gameplay footage in a moment. It really happens to be a lot of fun. Now, my primary weapon for this build is the Kingbreaker, which was one of my favorite weapons to use in the game, but with Title Update 22, which was a full title update ago, they made the weapon stronger, but they reduced the RPM, which kind of killed the weapon for me. But with these new global modifiers, this thing is an absolute monster. Now, it does have the talent Perfect Flatline, and that is going to amplify weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies, which is every single enemy we target because we do have that linked laser pointer equipped. Now, my secondary is the Rock and Roll Shotgun. Now, the main reason I'm using this is to build stacks for the HeartBreaker gear set. And if you do not have the Rock and Roll Shotgun, I recommend using an ACS-12 with the regular talent Flatline. That's fine. Again, make sure you have that linked laser pointer equipped, because the main point in using it is to build those stacks. I will show you an example in the build breakdown. That now takes us to the gear itself, and you can see we are running 1 Overlord, 1 Brazos, and 4 Heartbreaker, which is what we're going to start with. Now, we're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% assault rifle and LMG damage, 3 pieces 15% weapon handling, and 4 pieces Heartstopper. And with that talent, weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1.1% weapon damage up to a max of 50 stacks. However, because we are using the Heartbreaker body armor, it's going to increase max stacks from 50 to 100, and one thing you'll notice is on every single piece of gear, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now, when it comes to the holster, you do have options. For this version of the build, I am using Picaro's holster. That does give us an armor core, plus we get some extra weapon damage as well. Again, you can try out different variations. Like I said earlier, make a build your own. Next, we do have the knee pads. Now, we're using these because of that middle attribute, which is 8% damage to targets out of cover. And as you've heard me mention multiple times in previous videos, these are still one of the best knee pads in the game without a doubt. Next, we have the gloves and the backpack. They are the 2 remaining pieces of the Heartbreaker gear set. And because we are using the Heartbreaker bag, that gives us access to the Talent Cold, which is going to increase the bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%, which is obviously a very good thing. When it comes to my skills, I'm using the Crusader Shield because can easily get sideways with these modifiers running. And I'm also using the Pulse, which obviously comes into play with Microwave Coils, so I'm going to light a bunch of people on fire. Hope this video helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel, so if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. As always, I want to thank you all for your incredible support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. And as I mentioned at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Well, hello again, my fellow agents. So yesterday in the video, at the very end, I talked about, or I asked, what is your favorite candy? And your responses were fantastic. And I realized, like, I have a major sweet tooth. Like, every single thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, Swedish Fish. Like, we went old school. Like, we were going Mike and Ike's. We were going, like, old school, like, these different flavored Tootsie Rolls. Someone was talking about, like, a Score bar. Like, there was some really good that was listed. Today's question, my friends, what is your favorite cereal? And look, I'm not always going to have these questions based around food, but it really, like, I'm starving now. It's the end of the day. It's like, what, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm recording this video, and honestly, that's all I can really think about right now is cereal. So there's my question, fellow agents. What is your favorite cereal? Also, what do you think about the modifiers? Like, I made my way to seasonal, or what is it, Journey Mission 7. It was really kind of an insane grind, but I definitely think it's worth the time. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.
Supply room access.